Okay, I'm in the beautiful Marriott golf course today. It's December, just after Christmas, and on Monday. Beautiful, beautiful day out here. No, almost just, I don't know what the humidity is, but it's real low out here. It's actually, this is the best time of year out here. But I wanted to talk to you today about two countries that I think have a lot of similarities, but they also have a lot of differences that I think you'd be interested in learning about. And that is St. Kitts and Nevis versus Panama. Lived in both places for several years in Panama. But I wanted to go over some similarities with you. Both of these countries, you can actually live tax-free. When I say tax-free, I'm talking about income tax-free. You always get other taxes like sales taxes and stuff, but when I'm talking on videos, I'm talking about income and corporate taxes. You can avoid both of them in running a business in either place. Now, obviously, you know, Panama is has a territorial tax system, so they do have an income tax inside that's just under 30%. So, you know, to avoid the tax, you're going to have a business and do your business, you know, on the internet or some sort of business where you're doing it outside the country. St. Kitts, there's no income taxes inside or outside the country, but both of them have real attractive tax laws as far as that goes. Some of the things that I didn't like about Panama, which I've mentioned on other videos before, is it's got it doesn't allow dual citizenship, and you're going to have to pass a Spanish test to get the passport. Guatemala is a lot better option because you know, if you're going to pass a Spanish test, why not get it in a place that, you know, you can you don't have to relinquish your other passports. And St. Kitts is the same way. St. Kitts, you don't have to, you know, relinquish your other passports to get the St. Kitts passport. And you know, St. Kitts is English speaking. That's why I hold it above, you know, all these other ones like Guatemala and you know, Panama and other countries like this, because, you know, you don't have to go through that language test hurdle. Yeah, I saw somebody promoting Serbia just the other day on the YouTube, and I thought, you know, I saw all these positive things about Serbia, but he didn't mention the fact that you're going to have to learn the Serbian language to get the citizenship. This is what I had, you know, I saw when I went down to Panama from a news ad that came in from International Living and Sovereign Society back in the 1990s. And they didn't tell me about all the negatives and crap. This is what you need to know, is what are you going to face that you don't know that's I got you when you get there. And I'm going to tell you something, giving up your other passports and having to learn the language, you know, to get the citizenship, man, that's a pain in the ass. It was a total turnoff for me when I got there. I ended up basically just relocating. It just was not going to work out for what I wanted. And also Panama, as I mentioned to you before, they have restricted businesses, a lot of them. And you have to be a citizen to be able to get in those businesses. And we're talking about retail, we're talking about insurance, real estate. There's a slew of them, man. So it knocks you out of a lot of different businesses, and it will take you 10 to 15 years to get the passport in Panama. Irregardless of what you hear providers say, you can apply after 5 years. You won't get it for 10 to 15 years. The other disadvantage too is if you don't like pollution, which most people don't, the only place I would live in Panama would be Panama City, and the pollution was awful there. It has gotten better since they've got the metro there, but it's still bad. And sure, you can go to Boquete, these outer areas, but those places are just too dead for me, and I just did not like Boquete at all. I mean, I'd heard so much about Boquete and the mountains, and it just was not, it was just deader than dead. And you know, there's a lot of little places outside of Panama City. I just did not like them at all. The only two places I really liked in Panama was Panama City and the Gamboa Rainforest, which is just outside of Panama City. If I was going to live there, that's where I'd be living. But there were so many other variables that just threw one thing after another that I just didn't like. And I would tell people, if you're going to a country and you're looking to get citizenship, why not pick a country that you're going to be residing in? I mean, I see so many people go to these places that they have to give up their other passports, and they got to learn all these languages and stuff, and I just can't understand why they pick that option. I don't think they really think about this before they make an international move. I just did a video yesterday or I get my videos mixed up, maybe 2 days ago, on the best residency by investment countries. And 2 of them on there, I did put on there because they had a territorial tax system. So you could literally live there tax-free, and they both allowed dual citizenship. But the thing that was a real negative was you had to learn that language. One of them was Montenegro and the other was Guatemala. But they were on that list as the best residency by investment programs. Why not stick with the other 8 where you don't have to learn another language if you can speak English already? To me, I would be taking all of, if you're going to do an international move, my advice to you is take a sheet of paper out, put all the positives and negatives and list those suckers out, and do it over and over and over again until you know for sure this is what you want. But I'm going to tell you from experiences, if you don't like socialism, you don't like high taxes, which that's high taxes is socialism, then I would be going to countries that have a territorial tax system or pure tax haven status. This is what I would stick with. Take the countries that I put on that list. Those are the ones you should be choosing from. And these are, the countries that are very good. And I'm just going to rattle off some of them off the top of my head. I don't even have the list right here in front of me, but we're looking at Malta, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, Dominica. Now, some of these are fast-track programs. Some of them, but those lists have residency by investment programs too, okay? And, we were looking at Samoa was another one. These are the types of countries, and you can go back and look at that list and look at the ones that I listed that are English-speaking countries. These are the ones that you want to stick to. Grenada was on that list. All of the countries that are the fast-track programs in the Caribbean, they all have residency by investment programs too. You don't hear about them, but they are pretty extensive. Now, in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the residency period before you apply for citizenship is actually pretty good. It's like 9 years, but that's good for most of these citizenship by investment countries in the Caribbean have long-term periods that you're going to have to reside before you get the passport. Now, back to Panama. Panama has, they say, a short period before you can apply for the passport. It's 5 years, but I'm telling you, you're not going to get it in 5 years. It's 10 to 15 years before you'll get that passport. You don't want something that's going to drag you in like that, and then you got the language issue, and then you're going to have to give up all your other passports. Stick to countries that are either territorial or pure tax haven status. Number 1. Number 2 is they allow dual citizenship, and number 3 is they don't have a language test that you have to go by, and you don't have to relinquish all these other passports. And you want to get countries that have good visa-free travel, at least to the Schengen countries, okay? So these are things that you have to look at. Serbia, for instance, doesn't have visa-free to the UK the last time I checked. It does have to the other Schengen countries, but you want to be able to cover most of Europe. And so these are things you need to think about. But the restrictive in business opportunities in Panama is a problem. Food prices are a little bit cheaper in Panama City than they are in St. Kitts, but there's not that much difference. It's if you stick with fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Both places you're going to pay more for imported stuff coming in from the States. You're going to stay a lot cheaper if you stick with fresh fruits and vegetables that are locally grown. So these are some things that will save you some money there. If you're going to be looking for a place, like I said, I can tell you from experience that having the language under your belt when you move, it saves you so much time. I just don't see people really pushing this that much. But I'm going to tell you something, maybe because I'm not a real smart guy, and for me to learn a different language was, you had to take out so much of your time to really learn it right. Now, if you got a Spanish girlfriend, that does help tremendously. In fact, that's probably the quickest way you're going to learn. If you got a lady that from that country that doesn't speak your language, so you have to learn the language to communicate with her. That's probably the quickest way, and I've talked to a lot of other people, so that is definitely the quickest way if you're going to learn a different language. So, these are some things you got to think about. Folks, also, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. Number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. Now, one thing I do like, too, about St. Kitts, it's really nice, is you can really, you don't have the monsoon seasons like you do in Panama. We really don't have much of a rainy season, although it does rain, a little bit more from June through about, I'd say around October, November, right in there, than the rest of the part of the year. But you don't have a monsoon season here. And, people mention about hurricanes and stuff. They do have hurricanes here. They don't have them in Panama. At least in recent history, that they haven't had them. But you do have other areas. You have earthquakes there. We had an earthquake when I was there. You do have a lot of, we had quite a few landslides when we were there. So, they both have trade-offs. But I've been in St. Kitts for 14 years. I've never had any. We've had several hurricanes come through. Most of the houses have cement, structures, concrete. And by having that, and you got hurricane shutters, the worst thing, and we've had probably 4 or 5 since I've been here, worst thing I've had was a shutter to blow off, actually a shutter cover, and that's it. And we actually had 2 that were 5s that came in just on the outside of here. Maria was one of them. I think it was a 4 or 5 for that one. And there was another one there were actually 2 more that same year, Hosea, and there was another one, but they were on the outside. But their houses down here have been here since the 1700s. They're made out of wood. So, they've been through everything. So, these are some things you can think about. Hurricanes are overblown, I think, if you have your house, built correctly. And I don't think you'll have that type of a problem. Once in a while, you'll see a house get really torn up. But I haven't seen it here in 14 years, okay? So anyway, that will tell you something about that. Now, if you're looking to get property and stuff, I think long-term too, properties do better in a English-speaking country versus a Spanish-speaking country. I know that is, especially if you're in a pure tax haven, and I've seen this happen in Bermuda, Bahamas, British Virgin Islands, where property values have gone through the roof. St. Kitts, I was just talking to a guy the other day, it's been under the radar where people really have, they really have, it's been out of the radar where people haven't really seen the, they don't know about St. Kitts. And I think that's one of the reasons that prices here have not flown through the roof like they have through these other pure tax haven countries. But that's good for you, because now is a good time. You can get some really good bargains on properties. So anyway, if you're looking to really make a change and you want to move, my choice, if I was picking between Panama and St. Kitts, I've been to both of them. I've been there to both of them for years. I'll tell you something, being in an English-speaking country versus not being in one makes a huge difference. If you don't know that other language, you're not restricted in businesses if you got a passport here, and you can get that as quick as 45 days. Panama is going to take you forever to get that. You don't have, a language test you got to pick to get the passport. So, these are really things that I would be studying, and this is what I looked at, okay? And this is what you should be looking at too if you're looking to try to make it as simple as possible. And remember this too, if you're going to be going to and getting a, you're going to be doing an international move and you're going to be buying property, why not just, if you're going to be buying property, why not get citizenship with it? You can't do that with Panama. Okay, you move there, it's going to take you years and years. There's no way you can go in there and invest in something and get a passport quick. And there's too many negatives too on top. Even if they had a citizenship by investment program where you could go in and get that, which they'll never have unless they exempt the language test, because people are not going to go in and get a citizenship by investment with a requirement of a language test. They would have to exempt that. And so, by far, St. Kitts and Nevis to me is a better pick than Panama, although I picked St. Kitts over Nevis. I've got plenty of videos on that. It's a lot more expensive to live in Nevis. The amenities are less. You got less doctors. You got less of everything. Whenever you got 4 times more people in a country, and that's the fact here, you got about 40,000 here in St. Kitts, 10,000 in Nevis. You're always going to have 4 times more amenities, 4 times more people that do termite treatment, 4 times more plumbers, electricians, doctors, everything. I'm telling you, you don't want to give out a contractors when you're looking for one. And when you're in a small place, man, they run out real quick, and you want somebody that's dependable too. Anyway, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And folks, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically. We got about 600 of them. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.